Do you ever look back at past experiences and think, damn, that was fucked up? Well, I sure do, and you get to hear me talk about it. I was in a grade 5-6 class, but there were only about 4 of us grade 5s, so I tried to expand my circle of friendship, if you will. And where else would I expand to than the other 80% of the class? So I managed to make a small group of friends. I'm not going to say their names, but you're going to want to remember this one. We will call him Peter. Me and Peter were good friends, and one day he invited me over to his house for a sleepover. So I said yes, and I was very excited, because he had told me that he had Roblox. To any normal grade 5, this would be a normal fact. But to me, this was the sole reason I was going to the sleepover, as Roblox was literally banned in my house. So therefore I was very excited. Now, Peter was known at school for a strange habit I like to call chewing on everything in sight. When he wasn't found chewing the school supply of erasers, he was throwing them at the turned backs of our classmates. One day, he was mad at my friend Bernard, probably for taking one too many erasers. Peter sprung into action and started spitting and throwing his chewed eraser chunks at Bernard. The thing was, Bernard had no idea this was happening. He only noticed when he had to stack his chair and there were a plethora of chewed pink bits on his chair. Anyways, the day went by very slowly. Once the day ended, me and Peter dashed for his mother's van and got in. When we got to his house, Peter gave me the tour. It was a good-sized house, and after the tour, he asked me, "Do you want to go play Roblox?" So we went to what looked like into his parents' study, and we turned on the computer. Now, if you know anything about Roblox, you'll know it's not a split-screen game, and to play with each other, you need separate devices. They didn't have a separate device. So Peter started playing this game where you had a small military base, and you were a car, and you'd go around, expand your base, and attack other bases. I kept asking Peter if I could try, but every time I asked, he either ignored me or told me, just a sec, but never let me try. I guess he got fed up, because when I asked again, he said I would be his official mini-map watcher. That would have been fine, except for the fact that there were only 5 other players in the game. And the map was pretty big, so nothing really was going on. I was map watching for about an hour before we were called for dinner. For dinner was this big pizza loaf-like thing that we like to call pizza cake. It was really good and dipped in barbecue sauce, and there wasn't really anything else. The dinner wasn't that notable. But now it was time to go to bed. This is where it got a little weird. Remember Peter's school hobby? Well, I guess it was an extracurricular activity as well. We were going to play with army men when I saw most of them were chewed up. I was kinda grossed out and I refrained from touching them. Eventually, I found one not chewed Boba Fett toy, and then my guy literally took it from my hand, shoved it in his mouth, chewed it up, and spat it at the wall. This moment reminded me of the guy chewing chocolate in the Monster House movie.
I won't be seeing you later.
Honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised if he just ate the entire mouse after I asked to play Roblox. Anyways, after that traumatic experience, it was time to go watch TV. We went into his bed, which was a single bed, by the way, and watched Jurassic Park and Garfield. When we were done, he warned me that he'd once fallen off his bed and apparently cut open his leg on the bed frame while he was asleep. And then he was rushed to the hospital in the morning. Great thing to tell someone before they're going to sleep in that exact bed. So Peter fell asleep almost instantly, but I wasn't able to. Suddenly, I felt Peter's hand reach over my body, under my stomach, and pull me close. My man was trying to spoon me in his sleep. I don't know, but somehow I got out of his gorilla grasp and moved back to my spot in the bed. And guess what? Instead of pulling me close, MF went to my spot and cuddled me again. Don't forget, he was asleep the whole time. I got out of bed and for some reason decided to sleep horizontally at the foot of the bed. Finally, I started to drift off to sleep. I was awoken by Peter's big, meaty arms wrapped around again. He literally turned his whole body around, rolled over, and started cuddling me. I was fed up, so I woke Peter up to ask him if he could stop cuddling me. He was half asleep, but understood that he was doing something wrong, so agreed and went back to sleep. I finally managed to drift off, but when I woke up in the morning, I immediately noticed that for the 4th time, Peter was spooning me. I don't remember what I did, but I think I just ignored him and went back to bed. When we woke up, we went to go eat breakfast, which I think was probably oatmeal. Then I asked if I could borrow the phone to call my mom, and they said yes. But his mother asked if I could ask my mom if I could stay another night, because Peter really enjoyed it. I did not want that, so when I called my mom, I literally told her that I did not want to stay another night, and I even asked her if she could come pick me up a little earlier, which she was perfect with, and she said she'd pick me up in 2 hours, so we spent that time watching Moana. And that's it. The worst sleepover I've ever been to. It's probably not that bad, but this is my video, so suck it. Anyway, if you want to hear more stories, please subscribe. See ya.